This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Rev Gear. Use code MMA Nuts to get 20% off retail prices. Normal exclusions apply. DraftKings. Get a 100% deposit bonus with code MMA Nuts. Host Papa. Save 20% off hosting with code MMA21. Save 20% off with code MMA Nuts at protectthebed.com. DefenseSoap.com. Serious soap for serious athletes. Save 15% off with code MMA Nuts. Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 269.
269!
My name is Ingo Weighold.
Matt Groth, MMA Show. By MMA fans, for MMA fans, we're walking the line between serious and ridiculous.
A happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
Yes.
How was your holiday?
It was good. I would just say, sorry for missing the show last week. My brother was in town with his girlfriend. I see him once a year, so I wanted to spend a little extra time with him. And
all good. There's nothing going on anyways.
It was kind of a light week.
I appreciated the break myself. So.
And then, so Thanksgiving, I was sharing this story. I was saving it for the show. So I was cooking Thanksgiving dinner here for my wife's family. Her brother and family, mom and dad, my mom came over. And so I cooked the turkey, and I thought I bought gluten-free cream of mushroom soup to make the green beans with.
I know where this is going.
Ate that, and I was a little off before we had even eaten anything. And oh man, stomach's hurting. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I'm shitting, and
He's shitting.
Literally smells like I'm throwing up out my asshole. It was so horrid that I'm just flush.
Oh God.
Flush. Like this is something is off. I've never smelled something so bad come out of my ass.
Nice.
Literally like throw up, like the smell.
Okay.
So a little bit later, I'm just laying in the bathroom, writhing in pain, and my wife comes up and she's like, "Hey, because she's randomly coming up and checking on me, and my dog's just hanging out besides the bathroom because she knows something fucked up.
Are you dying?
Yeah. And then she comes up and is like, "Yeah, I was looking through everything, and this cream of mushroom soup, it's not gluten-free." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." Minute later, just puking my brains out. Like, there goes turkey, there goes green bean.
No.
It was so brutal. So it was a 6.5 hour just death ride.
Ouch. How much green beans did you eat? A lot. 2
servings worth,
but
geez. Like a big,
Yeah.
It was mostly turkey. That was delicious. Everything was great, but man, I was done. Give me a blanket. I'm gonna fucking just camp out in the bathroom.
I'm sleeping here. Oh God.
So
that sounds horrible.
That's why when you're asking, like, don't you want to try one of these beers that have gluten in it?
Yeah,
this motherfucker.
By the way, this hot box porter
man.
from Oscar Blues. Yeah. Holy shit, is it good? You guys should try this for sure if you can find it. But not you, because this will kill you.
That's what I'm saying. I think you need to get checked every once in a while. Like, put yourself in check. And oh my God, that'll make me double and triple check everything. Because you're
probably like, do I really have a gluten allergy? I keep hearing this is bullshit on the internet, and I'm like, oh no. Wow.
Trust me.
6 hours, 6.5 hours of throwing up and shitting.
Brutal fucking pain. Then I was just waiting to take a painkiller because I didn't want to throw that fucker up. Because you only got one shot. We got to do this right. Time it right.
Yeah.
So that was my Thanksgiving. It was awesome, but not awesome. But then that feeling of once you get the relief that next morning, you're like, I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Like your world got turned upside down.
Lost 10 pounds in the process.
Yes, you come back to like earth and reality.
Yeah, it's a natural cleanse. All good.
Yeah.
Like a colonoscopy. What do you call that? Enema?
Something like that.
Know.
And then, like I was telling you, the dog, hanging out by the bathroom. Then at night, she like crawls into my bed to sleep with me.
She's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, she was totally protecting and knew something was wrong. I'm like, cool, very good dogs.
Dogs are cool, man. They're like man's best friend for a reason.
Yeah, they sense something.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
When I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and I was like knocked out in bed for a day. Like our old dog Maggie, she didn't leave. My wife said she wouldn't even come out of the bedroom. She had to like drag her to go to the bathroom. She didn't want to leave. She just wanted to lay on the bed next to me. Dogs are funny like that.
Up,
they
man.
know, yeah. They do know. So I think dogs know like when the kids are sick and they kind of start to feel like they start to act weird or But that sounds terrible. 6.5 hours. Jesus. See?
Yeah, it's not fun.
Now you know for real. Like again,
Yeah.
you've been reminded.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with the gluten.
Well, the problem was the brand of mushroom soup. I thought that brand was always gluten free.
It wasn't though, huh?
Not so much.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't bring over any of the. I made I smoked the turkey and I made like leftover like a casserole with quinoa and broccoli and cheese, and I put some cream of mushroom and cream of chicken in there. And I was like, oh, I should bring this to Matt's. And I'm like, fuck, I threw the cans out. I don't know if it's gluten free or not. This is delicious. I'm like, now it's funny you say that because I'm thinking it's soup. It's got to be gluten free, right?
No, soup's usually dosed with wheat flour to thicken it.
Okay.
So that's that.
That's your story.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I didn't throw up, so
I'm all
threw
good.
up
A shit. At least I didn't shit my pants. So
yes,
it's all good. So we have a busy week. So
yes, thank you.
Let's start with this
dragging us out of that one.
Jones
Oh my God.
I like to bring it down so I can bring it back up for Jon Jones.
Great.
So Ariel Helwani spent a little hour with Jon Jones doing his little walk through the park scenario again, and I will read like some of the notes that I took down throughout this process of interesting things he said, and then we can kind of discuss because I know we have different views on our opinions.
They're lies, Matt. All of it's lies. Fuck that guy.
He says he was really partying before the Gustafsson fight, considered never fighting again, felt that if he was going to fight Gustafsson still, that the UFC would have let him, really needed a break, has to save his legacy for the kids, or for his kids and the fans. Says Ronda Rousey was texting him and offering to help him out, and Conor McGregor offering words of encouragement.
Okay.
Says he's given up alcohol and marijuana for 3 to 4 months.
Nice.
Said he was drinking 4 nights a week, was addicted to marijuana, which I think is bullshit. I don't think you can be.
Just addicted to coke, man.
Yeah. Still considering his options about suing the NSAC for the positive cocaine test. When asked about the Vitor Belfort drug testing thing, he said it was a slap in the face. Says something has to be done about the power the UFC had and the power of the NSAC. There's a lot of animosity toward the UFC. UFC 151, this is his words, is my fault. And then they let Vitor fight me on steroids, which is interesting because that might have been the payback because that was right after that. Prefers to talk to Lorenzo instead of Dana. Yeah. Lorenzo seems more genuine. And said he thought he was being extremely fake, was afraid to be himself. Oh, he said he was being fake, was afraid to be himself. He says, I'm the champion. I'm the imperfect champion. His goal is to do things better. Talking about April 23rd as his comeback fight. And he wants to get his light heavyweight title back and then fight Rumble Johnson and then go up to heavyweight and then refer to himself as Jonathan Jones, which I think we had talked about months before. And we said, if he comes back, he's going to change something, but it's going to be his name, Jonathan Jones.
Why not? Yeah.
So with all that said, how do you feel about him? I know you weren't a fan of him in the past. Do you think he's being genuine?
I was looking for something, and I didn't really find it in this video. And, you know, I watched the whole thing almost twice. And I listened to it first, and then I watched it because I was like, okay, I was listening to it the first time. I was playing Destiny, and I'm like, maybe my perspective is just off, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch it. I'm looking at his body language. I'm looking at how he's carrying. I don't believe a fucking single word that guy says. Nothing. I think he's full of fucking shit. He's been coached. He's like got people who are telling him what to say. I want to even go as far as to say Ariel's like a shill who's in on this shit, asking him the right questions and just softballing shit up to him. I don't believe anything.
I don't know. You asked him if he was going to commit suicide. Like, did you ever feel like you were going to commit suicide?
It's not an out of bounds question. Now you go and get your fans. Yes, I feel so sad for myself, but it's not the answer, Matt. It's not the answer. No, I mean, even to the beginning where he was talking to the kids, I'm like, well, the one thing I will say, and I don't want to like, okay, I'm not the smartest guy in the block, but I will say I question his actual intelligence. Like in the cage, I think he's very smart, but overall, I didn't get a sense that he was very like, how intelligent in a way, like the wording, the phrasing, how he speaks, just kind of. I think he's a great athlete. He's kind of a jock, and I'm not sure that the lights are all on under you know, and maybe that's what I'm reading, but I really didn't believe a lot of what he was saying. I don't think his story makes any fucking sense when he's talking about the whole incident of coming and going from the like.
Well, that
like
you're gotta be careful how
lying.
he words it.
It's just not true. Like I don't know. Oh, I definitely wasn't under the influence. Like I slept at a friend's, and then I woke up, and it's like I'm at his house, and he's got his wife or something, his kid, and so I decided to drive home, listen to my songs and light and whatever. Like, yeah, you're getting fucking high in the car, listening to your shit, wasted.
He
and
said
then
he had a bowl. He had to go
yeah,
back.
right. Come on, this story doesn't make sense.
He couldn't find his bowl.
Yeah, right. And the one thing that bothered me the most, when he was asked directly about his thoughts, his first initial thoughts, nothing about the woman who's pregnant and injured and everything. It was all about like his own personal shit.
Of course.
So, and it's like
he does. Well, that's his.
I don't know.
I appreciate it from the standpoint of he's being honest.
Sure.
He doesn't care about people.
No, obviously.
At least in that scenario.
He's not empathic. Doesn't
You know?
seem so.
But so here's my take. I actually like him more now because I feel like this is the first time he's being honest.
Okay.
He swore. He's being himself.
Couple
He
times,
talked
yeah.
about being fake because he wasn't sure how to be a champion, and now he's finally realized, you know what? I can just be myself, and that's okay. I can be the imperfect champion.
Sure.
Where he was everything was trying to be catered to be perfect, and nobody is perfect.
No.
It's okay to be yourself. And at least from that standpoint, I appreciate it.
Sure.
It just depends, is he really going to follow through and walk this straight line?
Nope.
I mean, you could talk the talk, but can you walk the walk?
I don't
That
think so.
remains to be seen.
I think he gets a victory, and then it all goes back to the way it was. I think when he's back on top, it's not going to be different. I don't see, you know, I was looking for something in his eyes. I was like, this is a changed man. It's like he was this, and now he's that. I don't see that.
He's projecting confidence because I was looking at I'm in the body posture, so I was looking at his pose. Mm-hmm. Okay, a lot of like, hands behind the back.
Yep.
Confidence when you research that.
He seemed almost mad throughout the whole thing, like
a little bit.
Not like like agitated in a sense of like.
Well, he has to explain himself, and I don't think he's ever had to do that. I don't remember him. Maybe he's done that, but I don't remember him sitting down for an hour, fielding difficult questions and having to put an answer out on the spot.
Right.
Like he wasn't able to calculate anything.
I will say Ariel is very craft. He's becoming a master at his craft. I will say. I watched. I'm like, wow, this guy is like. It looked like it was all done in one take, maybe a couple takes.
Yeah.
And it was very smooth. He had great questions. I mean, he asked the right things. And there's a lot of times when he was asking the question, I'm like, that's what I would have asked him if I was like, just like, wow, okay.
Well, he's got no script either. So he's
done well.
Very well prepared.
So it will. Okay. I will say I wish him the best, but I don't believe a word he said. I really don't.
This is great.
I'm surprised at you because I figured you'd be like, man, fuck this guy.
No.
And then here you are like.
I like underdogs. I like comebacks.
Interesting.
You know, I don't like the champions for some reason. Once you become a champion, I kind of turn on you.
Yeah.
And that he's not the champion right now.
Well, maybe if he has a track record of being real the next 6 months to a year, then okay, I might get on board with this. If this is the real guy, fine. I just feel like it's still an act. I mean, I don't know. And there's a lot of gray area, too. It depends. What if, you know what I'm going to go ahead and say? I don't think he wins his first fight back. I really don't.
Well, he's got to fight DC. And I think look at his body right now. Holy God. We're just going to fucking power lift. And I don't know if he's even training MMA right now. All you see is him powerlifting this, powerlifting that.
He can go in the NFL.
Look at the body type difference. They showed the picture from 2013 offseason to 2015. Doesn't even look like the same guy.
Nope.
Doesn't look like the same guy.
I wonder mechanically, is he as fast? Is he as athletic? Is he able to maintain the cardio? Is all these questions?
Well, he's motivated, not drinking, not doing drugs.
Allegedly.
I don't want to fight that guy. If I'm Cormier, I would be scared shitless because I really feel like he's going to brutalize him so bad.
Could be.
Maybe motivated Jon Jones.
What if these are the two guys, you know? The Rocky. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're dying.
I'm dying over here. Oh my God. The Rocky Apollo Creed, you know, like if that's what it is. What if DC, you know, Jones brings out the best in DC and vice versa, and it becomes 2 or 3 epic battles of just, you know. Because if it's good the second time, they'll do it again, right? They have to.
They do everything again. You can't get away with just one.
Junior Santos
rematch.
You know. Yeah. Versus freaking Cain Velasquez 5.
Yeah.
Why not?
We haven't beat enough retard out of him yet.
Do it again.
We haven't killed enough brain cells.
So speaking of John, are you done with that?
Yeah,
for now? Speaking of Jon Jones, I will say that one thing that struck me as interesting, you had mentioned, is that he said Rousey was very supportive of him during his time.
I think she even offered a house for him to stay at if he wants to check out for a little bit.
Yes. And recently as like a day or two ago, she finally has resurfaced. There are photos on TMZ, which I will email you. I don't know if you have these photos.
But I may or may not post. Just search them out, people. You'll find them.
And she appears to be in good spirits over the holidays with family. There is a lot of rumor of her having a jaw broken, but we don't see any wired shut stuff. She's smiling in a lot
Invisible
of photos.
wires.
Yeah. So she seems to be fine. She did say she was going to take a break initially, right? Anyway, so you know, I don't know. It's interesting.
I just wish she'd make some public comments. I mean, it's great to see her out and everything. I want some. What happened? Just anything. Like, hey, I had a bad fight. Happens to everyone. I'm gonna take some time off. Yeah. Just weird for someone who is so into public eye to just go 180 degrees the other direction and nothing. Just
maybe that's her thing. She doesn't want to start because when she
with
starts
her,
back up, it becomes a thing again. Right?
Yeah.
Now that she's silent, but the pictures. I mean, like, you know, she looks good. I don't see any. There's some her Travis Brown hanging around. With a shirt saying "American as fuck."
Yeah, good for you.
So
that guy's not scary.
There are also rumors I keep hearing of her and Luke Rockhold having had or currently somehow there was a love triangle going on.
Saying she gets around because that Schaub, Brown.
She likes those big boys apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
And then, while we're talking about this, Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm, I gotta say fuck Fox Sports because we missed last week, so we didn't get to talk about it. But 2 days after Holly won the fight, they posted an article with the headline, Holm endorses company reportedly linked to banned PEDs.
Yep.
And then the other websites that were zooming in on her package and saying, oh, look, it's swollen down there. She's totally on steroids. Fox Sports, what the fuck? You're supposed to be, you're the ones who are televising this.
Yeah.
I would expect that from some pie website, not someone who's actually showing the fights.
Right.
Get your fucking shit together. That is horseshit journalism.
I agree.
I unfollowed so many sites.
She's not going to get any respect until she beats somebody else, I don't think. She's going to, or if she beats Ronda again. It's like a Chris Weidman, Anderson Silva thing, right? Remember? Mm-hmm. Remember how much, like, everyone's like, oh, it's all bullshit, it's a fluke, Anderson was just fucking around, and then next thing you know, he does it again, even worse.
Right.
And they're like,
oh, it's a double fluke.
Okay.
Why can't people just accept that someone else can be better than the best?
It can be.
It happens.
Sure.
Right? Everyone's going to, you fight long enough, you're going to lose. Isn't that what Keith said?
Yep.
Our friend Keith. It just happens. And just accept that. And you don't need to say that the champion is on steroids and that's why they beat, or infer that. You know? Let's keep it classy, people.
Yeah.
Keep it classy. Like Holly Holm. She won't even talk bad about Ronda Rousey in all these interviews.
I haven't heard a single thing.
So classy. Such a great,
very, very classy.
Great role model. And all the interviews she's given, like I have both my daughters watching now. Like, this is how a champion should act. Not this Ronda Rousey stuff. This is the way to go.
Absolutely. And I mean, just to mention one thing, I know we had talked about the UFC's financial situation a few shows back. Apparently, after this whole thing happened, their credit rating went, through the roof, kind of, given the fact that they have apparently such a huge buy rate on this thing. Well, have you seen official numbers? I haven't seen them. I think they're saying over a million.
This is over a million, but I don't think we've seen official.
And then they still have like 12 more events or something in the next four weeks. So, I mean, apparently Zuffa's doing pretty damn good right now. They're looking financially strong. And I think, Lorenzo came out a week ago, 4 or 5 days ago, saying that this is maybe their best year ever in the history of their organization.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously you want Rousey to win, but she didn't. But you have another person that you can build on, another undefeated fighter.
Yeah.
So, you gotta ride.
Gotta roll
you gotta roll. Nothing's gonna work to plan, so you just gotta keep going with it. Like if Conor McGregor loses, what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Oh my God! oh well, you've got another champion who hasn't lost in like 10 years.
Well, they'll make a hell of a pay-per-view if that's, that's
immediate rematch.
I think that goes over $1.5 million if everybody stays healthy. It's gonna be huge. End of year.
Fucking chasing it for
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and then there's all these rumors of GSP potentially coming back, right?
Yeah.
And which I think.
Well, did you mention that yet? Because we
get
confused.
For the show. No, I mean Dana said that George is not motivated at this point to come back, and he thinks it's not going to happen. But then I know that the thing in Jones's interview kind of shed some poor light on the UFC, and GSP in similar fashion had said basically he's mad because of how he was treated. They kind of told him not to come to the press conference after his last fight, and he was like, "What the fuck? I'm the champ. Like, what are you guys talking about?" Like, and they kind of just shoved him under the rug because they were mad he was going to retire. It was like, fighter, get the fuck out of here. That's it.
Yeah.
No respect, nothing. Like, dude.
Well, I think a lot of that is on Dana White. He just, as much as he claims he's out there to help the fighters, it seems like he has no respect for the fighters at times, especially when it comes to champions. And GSP is a perfect example. And then Jon Jones, when he wouldn't take that fight with Chael Sonnen on a few days' notice, and then they cancel UFC 151, and they blame him, and then have him fight Vitor or Belfort, all loaded up on testosterone.
Absolutely. Well, I always hear him with the sound bites of like, well, if they don't want to fight, man, they shouldn't be in the fight business. All good, like whatever. But I think it's more like you fucking fight or go fuck yourself. Like that's it. You don't fight, screw you. You're done. See you later. I don't care if you're the champ. We'll find another champ. See you later.
Well, this was what's going to lead to the exodus of fighters. And speaking of which, we have Benson Henderson, who just won a split decision win over Jorge Masvidal over the weekend.
An event I did not see.
I didn't watch it at all. I watched a couple of the highlights from that fight, but I like Masvidal.
He's pretty cool.
Ben's going to test out free agency.
He should. Why not?
Exactly. So, now you have a former champion. I don't know what weight class he's going to fight at. You should just stay at 170. But he's going to field offers and see what his value is. And do you think he's going to be back with the UFC?
Nope. I think he goes to Bellator.
I really want him to.
Yeah.
I really want fighters to test what they're worth. And
you gotta know if you know what you're worth, go get what you're worth.
Who was it wasn't it Melendez that was floating out there?
Yeah.
And the UFC had to sign him to some ridiculous contract to keep him.
Yep.
At the very least, you're gonna get paid more by fucking getting that offer.
Get your money, man.
Yes. But I really want people to leave just so it forces the UFC to change their ways. Because otherwise, you can't put them in check. They're just going to keep running over the fighters like they've been for the last 2-3 years. Drug testing, Reebok, whatever. I mean, whatever they want to do. Yep. The fighter jump. How high? I'll do it.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
Like if somebody from the UFC asks a prolific fighter to go ahead and take a fall to prove that their testing works for steroids.
Yeah, go ahead.
For instance, like Mirko Cro Cop got suspended 2 years, right?
And it's funny because it was right after we were talking about, wow, USADA's done all this random drug testing. They've caught how many people?
Wait a minute, they're on to us.
Quick, we need a martyr. Oh, this guy's retiring?
Yes.
He failed the drug test. But he only failed by admission, not by the actual test itself, because I still don't believe they're testing for HGH.
No. Or other things.
Yeah.
You were telling me something about like plant proteins versus animal proteins difference, or what? I forgot where I heard this. Like supposedly nowadays, like the testosterone that comes from animals is untraceable because it's similar to your own body's testosterone. There's no way to test for it at this point. So like most of the testosterone comes from plants, apparently, certain plant, whatever, which is obviously it's not part of your body, but they get the higher end shit now is like from animals, and basically you put that in your body and there's no physical way to tell if it's your own or somebody, or like it's.
I think it's the other way around. I think it's the plant one is the new one, and they can't test for that. But
confused? I don't know.
Whatever it is, there's some new level.
Was it you that was telling me this?
No.
I heard this somewhere, and I'm sure I
was probably
totally fucked
Rogan.
it up.
Because I thought he was saying they were deriving it from vegetables or something weird.
Yams?
Yeah. Something. The goddamn yams.
Oh my God, I have vague memories of I was probably medicated. I don't know. I remember something. Whatever. It doesn't matter. There's some shit regarding some new shit.
Some new shit coming out. It's even harder to test for. But I mean, the top level guys are able to afford what they cannot test for.
Lots of money, man.
You know,
like the Vitor Belforts.
Matters. Yes. You want to talk about him real quick? He's supposed to fight Anderson Silva again for a fight in Brazil in March. Aren't you fired up?
Dude, I give no shits about this.
It's such a waste of a fight.
I want to see Silva Nick Diaz again. Do
Sure.
that one more time.
And what's happening with Nick? I know they were in negotiations, him, the lawyers, the UFC lawyers with the NSAC to reduce a sentence. I say nothing. They should have no fine. How do you proactively reinstate him so he has served no time, even though he's already almost served a year? Is there a way to do that?
No. I think he's getting 18 months.
He should be able to smoke weed in the octagon.
18 months.
In between rounds, Nick Diaz
high
gets
as
high.
fuck.
And then we monitor his progress, his vitals.
Yeah.
He actually does better the higher he gets. That'd be fucking great. Be terrible, but it would be great.
It would be.
Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Oh, where should we go? Let's go Johny Hendricks leaving Team Takedown.
Oh, no.
So he was saying they couldn't come to an agreement, so it's time for him to move on. He's going to sit out the remainder of his Team Takedown contract, which ends at the end of February in 2016. Wants to continue fighting at 170. Hired a nutritionist. And what else has we got going on there? I know he was on that. Was it on a 50-50 deal?
Well, yeah, he had that unique thing where he salaried even before when he was nobody, and then they take half of his purse, I think. So now it doesn't make sense for him anymore.
No.
To do that because he's making so much money. So sure, I mean, financially, I'm sure it doesn't work. But it's all a question of is he going to keep getting these big fights? Because in the last few, he hasn't fared so well. So it's
we need to make weight. Got sick.
Right.
Pull out.
Hasn't gone his way. So we'll see.
Bellator! Bellator! Everybody. They're doing all that freak show fights. And
Hendricks versus Henderson.
Whatever. That's fine.
Do it.
At a catch weight of 180-ish.
Yes, 180.
We're going to be about 180. What else you want to talk about? I got a couple other things.
That's all I got for news. What else you got?
I'll save my anger. Well, fuck it. We'll go right now. So
you're going to get angry?
Yeah, a little bit. So we got to talk about this Joe Rogan comments on Cyborg.
Oh, no.
I don't know why this one bothered me, but this one particularly bothered me.
She's your girl. I know.
It's tough. Well, I think it's... So I'll lay the facts down. So Joe Rogan has a podcast on the way back from this UFC 193 event in Australia. It's him, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Dana White. And they're talking about, roasting some fighters and thought, oh, we should have Cyborg on as the first person to roast, and Hinchcliffe would be a perfect writer, and let's talk about Cyborg, and she's got a dick, and something like that, Rogan's words. And I was like, this is weird, because she's technically a Zuffa employee, because Zuffa's paying her Invictus salary, so now you have the president of the company, an employee of the company, saying some shit about one of your fellow employees, and that's okay in their mind.
She could technically sue them.
Yeah, and it bothers me because she was seriously offended by that.
She should be.
And I'm just wondering, okay, so what if they said all that and it was Ronda Rousey instead of Cyborg? What do you think the response is?
From
everybody. Because it didn't seem like there were too many people irritated by it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. Like, what would the response be? It'd probably be a big uproar, I would guess. She has so many followers, right? The whole thing is weird because I think when they got on this topic, I kind of started going like, okay, where are they going? Like, you got to be real careful, like how you can say a lot of things, right? But some things you just really can't say out loud. Yeah. I mean, you can joke with your buddies, but you can't put this on fucking tape where it can be replayed.
President of the company. No. The problem is you're all employees of the company at the end of the day. So you're
Right.
technically in a workplace type environment saying shit about another employee. You can't do it.
And
I don't
Dana,
know.
I don't think Dana really got into it.
No, he
I
stood
felt
back.
like a uncomfortable, like kind of ha ha, yeah, ha ha ha. But Rogan kind of kept egging it on, and it was like he was going on about how great Hinchcliffe
Right.
was about as a roaster, and which I can't stand that guy's voice. I've never seen his face, but
Well, the problem is we're not at the comedy club right now.
Yeah.
You're doing a podcast, and I take fucking bothered me.
Yeah.
I typically am pretty open, and we're pretty
Yeah,
open
yeah.
on saying whatever and whatever about anybody.
as long I already know, don't talk bad about Cyborg. I
Maybe
got
it's because you talk. I want a piggyback ride from my lady. All right, I want her to feed me jelly beans, one time.
that sounds good right now, jelly beans.
And you know, if you pay her $60, she will do a personal video message for you.
Nice. Let's do that.
We might need to do that. I
Hell
was
yeah.
debating doing
Hell
that.
yeah.
Might be a little MMA Nuts Christmas present to ourselves.
There you go.
She's gonna. I like the MMA Nuts. They are my favorites. I give you piggyback ride, Matt Griffith.
We can put that in the show. That'd be great as the intro
Yes.
kind of thing. Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like they finally went across the line.
Probably.
Or at least Joe.
Well, the whole thing is weird
little
because it's not like an official thing and it's being recorded yet. I don't think anyone realizes. I'm sure Rogan does. Whatever. How large the audience is. So like, if it's an official, like, say you're on Good Morning America or Fox News or whatever, and you say this kind of shit, you can't have these conversations on television, right?
Yeah.
But in a podcast, you don't realize your audience may be very similar in size. So.
Or bigger.
Or bigger, and you go, well, I can say this and I'm just hanging out. Well, no, not really, because there's like millions of people that are going to listen to it, and then there's going to be all these fucking leech reporters that are going to write articles off of this, and it's all going to spider out into the interwebs and become a big thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then at what point? Okay, she did steroids. How many years ago was that? Can we just? Why does it always
How
have
many
to
years
be?
this guy?
Uh,
Matt.
4 years ago.
He's got
to be specific.
he's got the goggles on for
But
sure.
can we? When
Wow.
can we just let it go? Why does it always have to
Like
be
Elsa, let it
a
go.
topic?
Let it
a
go.
topic. And then as we're transitioning out, speaking of Cyborg, take a look at Holly Holm. I'll fight Cyborg. Hey, Ronda Rousey, where were you on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't do it unless it's at 135. I don't. Talk about avoid. Like, that's why Holly is so awesome. I love it. So willing to.
She could win that.
fight
I'd
anybody.
actually love to see
Oh
that.
yeah.
She's tough.
I know she's gonna have some. I think Misha Tate should get the first shot
Sure.
at her.
That might give her some problems. The wrestling, we'll see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's tough fights, but they were saying that Holly was holding back in those first two fights,
Supposedly,
and then just dialed it up for the roundup.
strategically,
Yeah,
right?
it's very cool.
When it counted.
And then I saw Ariel did a little walkthrough of the Greg Jackson Winklejohn gym. Pretty fucking cool. 2 huge octagons, and they have a second level, so you can get a bird's eye view of the octagons. You can coach from up there. You can videotape from up there, so you can get that top angle. Man, and then they have dorm rooms and everything.
Wow.
I love seeing
Did not see that,
shit getting
yeah.
next level. And then
Wow.
what was the other place? It's that Muscle Farm.
Oh, the where TJ Dillashaw. I saw that one.
Kind of all the next level shit
Mhm.
and cryotherapy. Man, I get why he wants to train there. You're gonna pay me to train at this state-of-the-art facility, and I'll be close to Dwayne. Why not,
Done.
man?
Why
Makes
not?
total sense.
Yeah.
Total sense. So the last thing, we're gonna go a little conspiracy theory. So obviously Ronda Rousey didn't have the best showing against Holly Holm at 193,
Mhm.
and almost looked like a fish out of water. We said it before. It was a white belt in striking versus a black belt in striking.
Yeah.
So there's this rumor floating around that obviously Edmond Tavares and her coach has a little bit of a bankruptcy problem. He's $700,000 in debt, filed bankruptcy, didn't show up. They're going to throw the case out. And he guessed this guy's been doing this multiple times now for the past, 6-7 months. And he's got a big gambling problem, allegedly. Rumor is, or a conspiracy theory is, that maybe he placed a bet on Holly Holm and didn't properly prepare Ronda Rousey, especially for fighting a southpaw. What do you think? I'm just throwing it out
I
there.
think he's sleazy enough, and usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So I would say that there's a good potential that is the case, but until we see something official, there's only speculation to be had.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't trust that guy. He seems very snake-like.
Svengali-ish.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
The Mama Rousey does not like.
No.
Mama knows best.
Sometimes.
I don't know if you're armbarring your daughter all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't trust you.
Yeah.
Maybe. She wants to drive her car right over him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if she actually did that.
Oh my God.
Wow.
They'd find a way out.
I mean, I don't want him to die.
What are you saying? Kill!
No. I don't want him dead. I'm just saying, like, if she just injured him slightly. Driving
Give
over
him
with her
a
car.
limp. He walks with a cane now.
Yeah.
I guess I could
Just
support
as a
that.
reminder not to fuck around.
Yeah, don't fuck
Yeah.
with the champ. I'm sorry.
All right. So
I think we're moving right along.
are actually going to.
I'm going to preview UFC 194.
Oh, Siri just freaked out on me. Ooh, thank God that didn't happen.
You almost lost your shit there.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Cris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold fight.
Happening December 12th, right?
Yes.
MGM.
Co-main event. That's looking to be card of the year. Looking to be card of the year.
It's huge.
So what do you think? We have two. We have one current champion, former Strikeforce champion.
What do I think?
Clash. Primes of their careers, Ingo.
Absolutely.
Primed.
I looked at the resume of both guys, and I kind of
Yes.
see, okay, Weidman's been through like a murderer's row of who's who, and he's finished or, beat them all in the last 6-7 fights, right?
Some common opponents, too.
Sure. I think the one thing that stands out to me is the opponent he faced that is most similar to Rockhold is like a Machida with his elusive style and his movement and everything. I think Cris gets like underrated in his cage movement and his ability to do great footwork and be places where he needs to be, because he's kind of like not super duper flashy athletic, but he's just kind of a guy. He's like that Marine that just like fucking just keeps getting it done.
Does what he needs to do.
Yes.
And like you're saying, he's not flashy and he's not smooth.
Nope.
But he gets it done.
He gets it done, and it's not going to be pretty, but I just feel like he's got better boxing. I think on the ground he's better. Neither guy's really been on their back before. I think if Weidman gets the wrestling takedown, that is a huge amount of problems for Rockhold.
Yeah, who's going to get the top control?
I think Weidman does for sure. I think if the striking doesn't go his way in the first minute or two, he's going to take the shit to the ground, and it's going to get ground out, and he'll finish Rockhold like in the third or fourth round like that. But if they're standing up, I say it's a knockout. And I think it comes earlier than that, perhaps late first, early second round. I don't think Rockhold's chin is super duper great. And Weidman is very technical in his striking. I know he doesn't do a lot of kicking and all that, but he's going to be able to negate the crazy like wheel kicks and all this nonsense that Rockhold likes to do, which is exciting. But I think right now that guy cannot be beat. And except for maybe by a guy like Jacare, who's exactly like the anti-wrestling. I don't think too similar. They're two similar fighters, and Rockhold isn't great anywhere. What do you think?
Well, this one's going to be weird because we had two pretty big guys for the weight class, and now this is the first time you're not going to be able to use an IV to rehydrate. And Weidman said he's walking around. I think he's 192 right now.
Okay. I was going to say 300.
No, 192, gave up alcohol, hired a nutritionist, really dialed in the diet because I think he's concerned about that weight cut.
Of course.
And I wonder if that's kind of what happened when he fought Machida. Maybe he had a rough weight cut because he was gassed by round 4 and 5. I just rewatched that. And he struggled in those last two rounds. And then at the end of the 5th, Machida just opened up. And just But the first 3, he was pressure. He just couldn't keep up the pressure for 4 and 5. And you contrast, okay, so you saw Weidman fight Machida. You saw Rockhold fight Machida. Rockhold finished Machida.
He did.
Because he got on top, and then he hits that big elbow at the end of the first round, and then Machida's fucked up at that point, like the second round, and he gets the submission. So the thing about Rockhold is he's got those sneaky submissions, and he's smart about it. So look at the Bisping fight. So He gets Bisping down on the ground, and then he softens up the body so that he drops down, and then he locks up a guillotine, rolls him over, and one-hands it, and gets the tap. And then you look at when he fought Tim Bosch, he got him on the ground, he got an inverted triangle locked up, and then couldn't get that finished. Started working on the arm, got the Kimura while he's got the inverted triangle. I'm like, oh yeah, he's fucking sneaky. Plus, he's got that weird length.
Yeah.
Very tall and athletic.
Great kicks.
Yeah, I think that's the difference maker in here, because he'll come at you. Okay, I'm throwing a straight kick. Oh no, I'm not. Wrapping her up and around and slapping you in the back of the head. So I think it comes down to that takedown, though. It's like, who's gonna get that takedown? Because if we're standing, man, that's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah.
If Weidman fights smart, like he has been, and the other thing he's really good at, he's very coachable. You see him in between rounds, he's listening, and they're telling him, he's getting good instruction. Not like Edmond. You're doing great, champ. Do more of the same. Get your ass kicked. They're giving him technical advice. Okay, double up on this. Do that. Do this. Do that. He listens. He does that. Rockhold, he's got champions in his camp. So look at, you're training with Cain Velasquez, you're training with Daniel Cormier. It's like beast. So he's fucking training at a championship level. Weidman doesn't have all those other champions to train with, but he's still fighting at a championship level. So, where am I going? Like, fuck, I don't know. Weidman gets a little cocky. I think that's one of his downfalls, is that you saw that in the Anderson fight too, where he'll kind of like fucking let him hit him a couple times. Oh, you want to hit me? I'll drop my hands. Go ahead and hit me. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Scary.
Vitor Belfort lit him up in the first round, so Vitor kind of gassed out and got taken down.
He got tired.
Yeah. So you got to see which Weidman's going to show up. Is he going to do that cocky shit? Maybe. I don't know. I'm leaning against him right now. I'm trying to play it out in my mind. Like, man,
he's torn.
It's like I should like Weidman, but I don't like him, Mingo.
Okay.
I don't know.
You like Rockhold?
I'm leaning toward Rockhold. I'm leaning to a 4th round submission. I think this is like one of those back and forth ones, man. It's fucking really close in my mind.
Okay.
It's a coin flipper.
Should be good. I think it'll be a good fight.
Mind is saying go Weidman. Heart is saying Rockhold. I'm gonna have to go Rockhold.
All right.
I'm going Rockhold. Rockhold submission. I think
safe bet.
You know, submission versus submission. I think Rockhold gets submission.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You got Weidman.
Yep.
Taking Rockhold. We have a Magic 8-Ball this week.
Oh.
Magic 8-Ball is taking nobody. It's a little rusty. It's like, motherfucker, I haven't been out in years. Cris Weidman for the Magic 8-Ball.
Yes.
Moving right along. Ask the Nuts. We have some questions from last week that we missed, so we're going to bring those in. Eighth Wall on Twitter asks, he said, all this talk of Ronda making movies, could they even release Roadhouse 2 before she wins a comeback fight?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, but it's better. Well, yeah, I think that would be a better time to do it than when she fights again, in case she loses again. They should release that fucker like
it's
next
too
week.
Sweet to get that fucker out, man.
Next week.
Strike by the iron's hot.
Yeah.
It's like Rousey versus Cyborg. Oh, what? It's so done.
Yep.
You got to get that fucker out as soon as possible. He was asking about the Reebok ads featuring Ronda Rousey intensely hitting a heavy bag. Does that look odd to you?
No, I didn't think it was that odd. Why?
Well, just because her striking is not on point when you see all the gifs of her throwing her overly punched, shadow boxed punches. Like, what is going on here? I'm going to save all my negative comments
we need
about
a Fappening 2.0 is what's going on.
What? I'm in. I could be 3.0, 3.15.
Yes.
Does Ronda's loss result in McGregor toning down his cockiness versus Aldo at all?
No. I don't think the two affect.
No, not at all. He'll dial it up. He's actually going to lose. It's going to be the year of the UFC.
Okay.
we'll talk about that one next week. Al Miner asks, does the UFC/Reebok deal have anything to do with more young fighters choosing to retire lately? We just had Pendred.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Gethel Pendred.
Yeah. I think he's 28 or 29. He just retired, so he lost the passion for it. It makes a good point. A lot of these fighters, like we were saying, you're not getting paid a lot. And I don't know if it's younger fighters per se, but the veteran fighters who could still be young are just losing so much in sponsorship money like we were talking about. It financially does not make sense in my book to be a fighter. If you're not number one or number two, even Misha Tate, we were saying, how the fuck can you be her and be in the UFC? Like, she should be getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from sponsors, and she's not.
Nope.
You gotta test your worth. I think go to Belfort.
Bellator.
Even if it's just for a couple fights, just sign a 2-fight contract. Yeah. Go over there, make money, and then have the UFC have to dole out a ton of money. One or the other. Justin Dr. Brown Carter, what will be more shocking, if McGregor is knocked the fuck out or Aldo?
I think Aldo will be way more shocking.
Yeah.
McGregor's, I think people are still not 100% on that guy, and Aldo is as solid as he's been. If he gets KO'd, that would be crazy. I mean, that would be Anderson Silva level type stuff, I think, in my opinion, you know? So
let's just hope
it's going to happen.
Let's hope that fight happens. That's why we're holding off. I like to hold off until that last week.
We should do it like the day before, just in case.
Seriously. But I think they have Faber is also fighting on this card, so if Aldo has to pull out, you can do the Faber versus McGregor. And Ryan Smith will close it out. Says, who do you see winning a title in 2016?
Jacare!
What?
Yes.
He's got to get past Yoel Romero.
Oh, he will. No problem there. Who else? Anybody else? Nick Diaz!
Jon Jones!
Oh, geez.
That's the easy one.
Yeah,
I can't say that one. Let's see. Robbie Lawler's fighting Carlos Condit.
Ronda Rousey!
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't.
No.
Because she'd have to go through Holm, and she ain't going to be in Holm. I just don't see that.
Not now.
She's too far behind. Moving right along. Knowledge. Got anything?
No, just kind of addicted to Destiny these days. Yeah. That's my knowledge.
It's nothing like playing for 5 hours in a fucking raid. And you have one weak link.
Yes.
Pete,
where are you at, man?
I'm just playing.
Yeah, me too.
You are weak.
Not really.
You're the best at jiu-jitsu. That might be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
He was, what was he, a blue belt under Hoist?
Yep.
And it's like, he would talk so much shit to me at work. Like, I'm going to choke you out when we grapple. When you want to fucking do some jiu-jitsu. Like, whenever the fuck you want. You can come over in my garage. I'll set some shit up. We'll go at it. I'm just fucking toying with him.
Then we find out 2 years later he didn't drink water. Like,
he turned gray. It was like 120
water.
in my garage. And we're out there just manhandling him. I'm just fucking toying with. Was that gi or no gi?
It was gi.
Oh, and that's not even my game. I'm not even a gi player.
It was bad.
A mounted triangle. That's offensive. Like, are we done yet?
Yeah.
You were manhandling him. And
I don't recall.
Him up.
I don't remember. Maybe.
Yes.
But I didn't know he didn't drink water. That was a crazy thing.
Yes.
Like until recently, he started drinking water. He only
not
drank
at all.
pop.
The guy wouldn't drink any water, and we had to tell him, listen, you're going to die. Like, when you pee.
It's like, is it normal? My pee's brown? I'm like, no.
That means you have blood in your urine, my friend.
Yeah, your kidneys are fucked up. Drink water. Crazy.
But that was very satisfying, because you'd talk a lot of shit to me at work. And
yeah.
Then you get to put it on someone after they've been talking to shit to you. And
That's always good.
Then afterwards, everyone at work's like, what happened? Like, what do you think happened?
Exactly.
You got manhandled.
Down. Yeah, we were talking before the show started, too, that it's kind of sad, because usually I'm a huge gamer, and I always buy, like, the latest and greatest, in the last 10 years especially, and I kind of just, with this new console launch, I kind of stopped. It's weird. And I don't think it's because I'm interested less. It's more like there's not anything. Where are the games at, man, that everybody wants to play? They have all these blockbuster titles, right? But none of them are really that good. So.
And then the Battlefront, we were just talking about that beforehand. We both said it was shit,
Bulls
and then you
goats.
look at the reviews on Amazon, it has 2.4 stars.
Terrible stuff. Great graphics, horrible
Yes.
game.
It's just like UFC.
Just sucks balls. Which is why we played the Destiny, which I'm sure other people hate.
Yeah, well, I'd say the first version of Destiny, not great. I sold it. Then I rebought it because 2.0 is
Better.
great.
3.0 is going to be even more awesome.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's a thing coming in January.
What's the thing?
Like a mini update or something.
Okay.
Or like, like by end of year.
I'm good like that. I don't like the raid so much. The raid is fun more for the shit that's being said and the
entertainment.
weird fucking people
Yes.
that we got a group of people, and then every once in a while we might need an extra one, and we bring in a person or two people. Like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
Yes.
This guy's saying some weird shit, and I like it.
Yes.
And then
It's
they
good
keep the best part is this one. There's I forgot what the boss is, and the boss has
Golgoroth?
something.
Maybe, yeah.
They're like, okay, you got to take his gaze. I'll take the gaze. And like, him and I, we're just laughing our ass off.
I kept
'cause it's
muting
about
him. I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm dying over here.
it's just a big nog. That's all I think about when he's
The
talking about
gaze.
the gaze. Like, they don't get it, do they?
No.
Do I need to explain it?
No one
Like,
got
fuck it. It's just you and I. We're fucking texting on the
And
side.
the other guy's like, somebody was talking, dicks.
Yeah.
And the other guy's just laughing, the pickup guy.
Yeah,
the guy.
he
Like,
lost his shit.
I don't know.
Like, what do
He
you
was
what?
dying.
It wasn't that funny. The guy just lost it.
He's like, I gotta put you guys, I gotta take off for a second. I gotta make some food.
I haven't eaten in like 10 hours.
guys might-
They call me train because of my job. And he's
That
like
was
waiting
totally
for
right.
someone to ask him what his job was.
What-
Like, fuck it, I ain't gonna ask that guy shit.
No, that was funny. I added him to my friends. He seems pretty easygoing.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone's been pretty cool that we've partnered up with, and just a pain in the ass, like how complex these battles are. I wish it was just, okay, you die, you can't be revived for 30 seconds. That would be cool.
I agree.
Not all this, okay, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then you have to do this while I am beating off at a medium pace. Not fast and not slow. Adam
Exactly.
Sandler, medium pace.
Yes. And the other guy's gonna watch.
Yes.
That's
He's
it.
going to fondle your balls.
That's it.
Oh.
And then the next round, we have to, everyone switches
Yes.
roles.
and, yeah. And then if he gets the gaze, then you have to be involved. Like, what?
It's very confusing.
I died.
Yeah.
Oh, I died. It's very bad.
The rate is fucked up. But it's a video game. It's good fun.
Yes.
I think I told you a few times. This is the first game where I like the individual player and PvE and also the PvP. It's both good.
Yeah, it's really
Lots of choices there
interesting.
for you. So, I mean, of course, it's a game. It has its issues. I'm sure there's people who are like, "Fuck Destiny, fucking bloats goats." But I think overall, it's probably the best shooter on Xbox at this point.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything better. Halo 5, they said, is shit. I'm not doing Call of Duty. I tried the Battlefield, the beta for that.
Well,
shit. I'm glad they're doing all these betas because then I can just tell you right away. Shit. Got potential.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's been shit.
Yeah. The next big one is Rainbow Six, which is more tactical style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's multiplayer though. It might just be single. I'm not sure. There isn't a cool game that I see on the forefront that I'm like, I gotta get it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
No. I like to wait now too. Let them work out. Everything's been so buggy.
Fix the bugs.
Fix the bugs for a month and then I'll wait. And the other thing was weird is there's been no real Black Friday sales on any games. Nothing
No.
enticing me to get into anything either.
Yeah, we need a $19.99 deal.
Right. I'd be in.
Buy one get three at $19.99.
Yeah. What happened to those days?
Yeah.
Non-existent. And then you don't get all the content.
Nope.
Nickel and dime you with the DLC.
Base game and then like 5 downloads. It's another
Yeah.
$100.
Well, it's because they can't raise the price of the game now over 60. So the way they do it is 3 patches of whatever DLC for 15 to 20 bucks each, and then we can get over 100 for the game that we've made $10 billion. More than a movie on.
Yes.
Well, it's what it is. Shut it down. We're out. In, out, back. We'll be back with the UFC 194. Aldo, McGregor. I don't know what else. I mean, there's Damian Maia, Gunnar Nelson, Yoel Romero, Shaka Ray. Fucking, I'm ready for this card.
It's going to be
man.
awesome.
Ready.
We'll be there. That's been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. King Wild.
McGregor, thanks for playing.